Hi there, I'm Ashley Bullington, and you're tuned in to the Warmup, presented by your local Geico offices in Cypress, Katy, Spring, and Pearland. It's time to get warmed up for Week 8 on the gridiron. Week 8 of the Texas high school football season is almost here. And low-key, it might be one of the best weeks of the year. Tomorrow is National Chocolate Cupcake Day, and there are a number of sweet matchups on the schedule. Let's start with the big game this evening in Fort Bend County, as undefeated Fort Bend Travis takes on 5-1 Ridgepoint at Mercer Stadium. Both teams are tied atop District 26A with perfect 3-0 league records. Ridgepoint hasn't lost a district game since 2015, and the Panthers have reeled off 27 consecutive wins since then. Ridgepoint has won 5 straight district titles, but this Fort Bend Travis squad just might be the toughest challenger the Panthers have faced in recent years. The Tigers averaged better than 48 points a game this season, led by quarterback Eric Rodriguez and a trio of talented receivers. Last year, these two teams played a rain-soaked shootout with Ridgepoint winning 49-42. Let's hope this year's renewal is just as thrilling, minus the torrential downpour. Ridgepoint and Travis is the first of an incredible 5 matchups this week of teams that are both undefeated in district play. And while it's too early for anyone to win a district title, these showdowns will go a long way to determining who will be lifting a trophy in a few weeks. Friendswood earned our Geico Team of the Week with a thrilling 34-32 victory over 7th-ranked Foster last Friday night. And as a reward, the Mustangs draw 2nd-ranked Shadow Creek tomorrow night. Quarterback Luke Gurdon threw 4 touchdown passes in that Friendswood win over Foster, but Shadow Creek has only allowed 6 touchdowns all season. On the flip side, the Sharks' offense is averaging 50 points a game. It's amazing to think what this Shadow Creek team has already accomplished in just its 2nd year as a varsity program. So while they might only be 2 years old, they definitely aren't baby sharks anymore. Pasadena Dobie might be one of the area's best stories so far this season, with the Longhorns winning their first 6 games and sitting at 4-0 in District 22 6A. But Dobie faces its toughest challenge of the season Friday night, as the Longhorns host 12th-ranked Atascocita. Following a Week 2 non-district loss to Katy, Atascocita has reeled off 4 straight wins by a staggering 63 points per game. Yes, you heard that correct. The Eagles are averaging a 63-point win over the last 4 weeks. Dobie will have its hands full trying to slow down our Week 1 MVP bobblehead winner, Bryce Matthews, and the Atascocita offense. The Dobie Longhorns aren't the only Longhorns enjoying a resurgence this season. George Ranch won a state title in 2015, but hasn't won a playoff game since. This year, however, the Longhorns are off to a 3-0 start in District 23 6A and tied atop the standings with Pearland Dawson. George Ranch has allowed just 13 points through its first 3 district games, and the Longhorns will rely on that defense to slow down Dawson's high-flying offensive attack led by quarterback Miles Kitton. The Eagles have already notched impressive wins over Strake Jesuit and Pearland, and will be sitting pretty in the district race with a win tomorrow night. We'll have highlights of all of those games this week on Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports. And while you could make an argument for each of those contests to be our game of the week, we've saved that honor for, drum roll please, Dickinson and Clear Springs. Both the Gators and Chargers are undefeated in District 24 6A thus far, but these two teams have a history of playing classic games. They've split the last 4 meetings, with last year's matchup in Dickinson being the most memorable. Dickinson built a 28-0 lead through 3 quarters before the Chargers powered up in the 4th. Clear Springs scored 35 unanswered in the final 12 minutes to stun the Gators 35-28. That win propelled the Chargers to the district title. And you know Dickinson has not forgotten about that one. So let's recap. Dickinson, Clear Springs, Ridgepoint, Travis, Friendswood, Shadow Creek, Atascocita, Dobie, and Dawson, George Ranch. All 5 games with massive district title implications. That's definitely as sweet as National Chocolate Cupcake Day. But just in case you're still hungry, it's time for the extra point. This might be the best story we'll see all season. Kids across the country have been making headlines for their kindness, and the football players at Lamar Consolidated are right up there in the headlines. BJ Harris invited a new student, Xavier, to sit with him and the football team during lunch. They all became such good friends. The team decided they wanted Xavier at every game and got him season tickets to make sure their friend was in attendance. Good job, boys. After his team had a big win over Maid Creek, Jalen Milrow decided he was going to make his way to the Metroplex to see his future college play in the Cotton Bowl. Speaking of the Red River rivalry, on the other team, C.D. Lamb, former Foster Falcons, had the first touchdown of the game. That's all we have for this week's episode. To stay in the loop on all things inside high school sports, follow our social media accounts. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That'll get you ready for the best 30 minutes of sports television. Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports on KJU11 at 8:30 a.m., hosted by Matt Musel. Thanks for watching The Warmup, presented by your local Geico offices in Cypress, Katy, Spring, and Pearland. To find more information or to get a quote, go to geico.com/Houston. I'm Ashley Bullington, and I hope you're warmed up and ready for all the Week 8 action.